Hey everyone, Naomi from Couples Therapy here. Are you like me? Do you have this thing where if one person in your house gets sick, you brace yourself for when it's going to be your turn? Well, it turns out that when one person gets the flu, there's up to a 60% chance that someone else in their house may also catch the flu. But now you can be a flu fighter with a flu shot from Walgreens. It's your shot to protect you and the ones you love, or the ones you just share a house with. So stop into your neighborhood Walgreens. No appointments necessary, and you can get a flu shot that's free to you with most insurance. Again, go to Walgreens and get yourself handled.
Open your hearts, loosen your butts. It's time for Couples Therapy.
Yeah, this podcast is Andy and Naomi's, where they can both laugh and hang with all their homies, talking excellent vacationing with brunches and cuddling, to messy situationships and conscious and coupling, from Netflix hookups to singledom with some Hulu, text, sex, regrets, or feeling on your new jubu. They gon' talk about it, yeah, you are invited, needing therapy, I guarantee, baby, we got it.
It's couples therapy. Couples therapy.
Hey everyone, welcome to Couples Therapy. I am Naomi.
And I am Andy.
And we are a real life couple of comedians. And on Couples Therapy, we bring you the very best sets from our live show, where we have stand-ups who are close do sets together about their relationship.
That's about the long and the short of it. And we'll be right back after these messages. I'm a bitch. Oh no, that was out of tune.
Among the many things wrong.
Go with me, Naomi. Is that the right note?
I have no idea. Isn't it so bad when you hear like one of those 90s songs on your way somewhere and then you can't get out of your head? That's where Andy is emotionally right now.
I'm a snitch. I'm on fire. Oh, okay, I'll stop. Naomi, we were driving over here listening to Pop 90 hits or whatever it was, and Meredith Brooks' Bitch. Let me tell you this, folks. I usually try to leave my class politics at the door, make this a safe space so that you can forget the outside world for an hour. But let me just say this, Naomi. On the road here in Los Angeles, who is the worst behaving car?
What, Andy?
The BMW. Whoever owns a BMW, they're going to think the laws don't apply to them. They're going to drive into your lane without putting on a signal. They're going to drive onto the sidewalk and drive through a outside eatery and just drive off and be like, forget you all.
Andy, I think this might be a great way to segue into our New Year's resolutions. Because what you just said is not in line with your goals. For what? 5780.
Yes, everyone. Hey, Lashana Tova. Tikvatevu. This is a week late, I guess. 2 weeks late. For
it's still
Rosh
New
Hashanah.
Year. It's like people say Happy New Year in February. So I feel like you can definitely be giving me the Shana Tova 2 weeks out.
Yeah. Break out your apples and honey for today's episode. Eat along while you hear some laughs. But no, Naomi, I'm turning Rosh Hashanah into Crush Hashanah because I am going to crush 5780.
This is your time. This is your year. 5780 is your year.
I think so. I've made some. It just so happened that Rosh Hashanah came around a time when I was like looking to make some changes in my life, some renewals.
Yes,
in my existence, in the firmament of my heart, change over the soil.
Wow,
till it in a different way.
You love a metaphor.
Love a metaphor. Yeah, no. I've just been like a little too angry at things, especially driving. I think maybe you heard that when I mentioned that rich BMW drivers are the worst drivers on the road. It's a true statement.
It's a true opinion.
Look, yes, of course. I don't have hard empirical data, but I will gather some.
You will gather.
Here in Los Angeles. My journey of self-discovery started when you mentioned that driving with me is a very angry experience.
It's super unpleasant. Because you're so annoyed at everything and just like exclaiming, and it just feels so torturous, so arduous that it's like, oh my God, I'll just walk.
There are so many terrible drivers here in Los Angeles, and every single time that they do something awful, I exclaim, fuck you, or something worse than that.
Right.
And with the frequency of terrible driving, the frequency of the number of terrible drivers we encounter here, I think that sentence works out in some way.
Yeah.
Naomi, you were hearing an angry exclamation, would you say once every 10 seconds?
Yeah, fully. I was like, every half block, something upsets you. And it's like, you gotta let go and let go. This is just where you live. This is the process. It's defensive driving, as Carlos taught me.
Yes. So I thought about it and I imagined it. I used my empathy to imagine it from your point of view.
Use your empathy.
And I'm like, oh, that must be a terrible experience to be trapped in a small sphere, small 2-ton metal car-shaped thing. I was trying to think sphere, I guess the area that you're actually seated in is sphere-ish a little bit. But hurtling at a high velocity and hearing someone just go, that motherfucker, how dare he open his door into the lane? Now I have to swerve around him? Of course, I'm dulling the anger for the listener. But I imagine that I'm like, oh, yeah, that would be a pretty terrible experience. So I have resolved, and I think, Naomi, you can tell me, have I been dampening down the fury?
I can't tell yet. Okay. And that's not shade. That is because we've only had a couple rides. And so it takes a little time. You know, again, any New Year's resolution, okay, it takes time to really make the change and ingrain the change. So I just appreciate that you're willing to make it.
Yeah.
It means so much.
But in general, I think also I have just been like, this theme, Crush Ashana.
Yes. 5780, crush it.
I just, in general, I want to soften my heart.
Yeah.
I want to open my heart like a downward-facing dog.
Wait, Andy, would you say you want to open your heart and loosen your butt?
You know, Naomi, I don't know if we've ever heard that before, but I feel like that's great advice. I feel like that would be a great tagline, or maybe like it would be nice on a T-shirt or something like that.
Wow. Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Whoever came up with it, geniuses. I'll say that. But I was thinking back to like when I did yoga. They say melt your heart. Open your heart to the sky.
Wow.
Let your heart melt. Stuff like that.
Wow.
Like when you're doing your savasanas and stuff like that. So in general, try to be more vulnerable. Try to just be less hardened towards the world.
Yeah. Stop complaining about the things you cannot change. You know, accept the things you cannot change, in essence.
What is this? Are we at a AA meeting right now?
I'm just trying to help you help yourself, you know, because we've made the choice to live in this place, live this life, and it doesn't help you to just go over and over.
Right.
That's my self-help for the entire episode and the rest of our lives together. I have nothing else to add.
Yeah, no. But I think generally just like instead of like gritting my teeth towards the world, I will take a breath. Let the wind whistle through my open teeth.
Let the wind whistle through your open teeth.
And that, my friends, is how I will crush Ashana.
Yes, I love that. Can I also, even if I'm not Jewish, can I also have resolutions for 5780?
I think you have a contact Judaism
Thank you
from
so much.
being with me for over a decade, almost a decade.
Almost a decade. Yeah, I think I'm kind of in line with you. I think I want to stop being so afraid of stuff. You know, there's so many small things that fill me with anxiety, and then the anxiety stops me from moving. And so I think in 5780, I have got to stop being so afraid. But now what does that look like? What is the work? What do you do to not be afraid? You just do the thing?
Yeah.
So, for instance, you know, driving fills me with an anxiety and a terror, so I don't want to be bothered. So now you and I are in a green book situation, which is not good for our love at all. But do I really just get in a car, again, this 2-ton sphere that could kill myself and others and just, like, get over it? It feels like a weird thing to practice at the expense of human lives, you know? So I'm going to figure that out. It's a long process, but...
I fully support your aims to not be afraid. I fully support your defeat of fear.
Yes.
You're resolving to defeat fear.
You have to.
I'll say the first step, we're going to go to Halloween Horror Nights soon.
Ooh, talk about facing my fear of crowds. That's the real fear. No, but that'll be fun.
I'm confronting my fear of poison churros.
Poison churros?
Yeah, there's many churro salespeople at Halloween Horror Nights.
Well, wait, I didn't know you were afraid of someone poisoning churros.
I'm afraid of all poison stuff.
Okay, you just think
I'm
stuff
afraid
is
when
poison.
we took a trip to Solvang, we'll talk about that on another episode, but we brought our sweet little Mabel with us, and she would drink from various, it's a very dog-friendly town. If you don't know Solvang, it's like a Danish town that's like 2
Two-
hours north of Los Angeles. And it's very dog friendly. So like every business there has a dog bowl out in front of it filled with water. And I was so paranoid. I'm just like, what if someone poisoned that water?
I'm with you too. I was like, it's such like an easy thing to do. And it could happen. It could happen. So many things are odorless and colorless that are dangerous. But then I was like, what kind of sicko freak would just like poison dogs?
I got to tell you, Naomi, I am also entrapped in fear. And it is because as a child, I constantly was told by the news to be afraid of things. I mean, it's not like the
Still,
news has
I
changed.
know, I'm like,
but
well.
like minor things. Like they would talk about like people who like, again, this is like one person that like tampered with aspirin.
Right.
And now like all aspirin has like tamper-proof things on it. I don't even know if this is true, but there was a story about how like if you were driving alone at night and someone like flashed their lights at you, that was a gang member. And if you flashed your lights back, they were going to kill you.
Yes.
There was another one where there was apparently someone at the mall and they were hiding under cars and slashing people's Achilles tendons.
Good Lord.
And then stealing their car. So you'd go back to your car and they would be hiding under that and they would slash your Achilles tendon.
Jesus.
Supposedly. I don't even know if this is true.
Right. These are the urban legends. I mean, this
Yes.
is truly spooky. This is Halloween. You're literally telling me Halloween right now. You guys, if you have any experiences with any of these urban legends and weird little bits, please tweet at us at Naomi and Andy. I want to know. We need to know that we're not alone. We're not crazy. We are facing fear in 5780. All of us as a community, as a couple, Andy and I, you, the listener. We are
Facing our fears.
5780, bitch. So, before we give you our first set, let's just talk a little bit of business, baby.
Oh my God. So this month in Los Angeles, we're going to do our live show on a Tuesday, actually.
Woo, baby. Tuesday, November 5th at 8 p.m. Still at the Virgil.
Still at the Virgil.
Tuesday.
So far, the lineup is amazing. Dana Gould and Arden Marine. Two wonderful stand-ups. You've heard Arden on the show before. Dana Gould, just one of my favorites. Arden, one of my favorites. I remember when she was on before, and I was just in absolute admiration of her. And if everyone else who we've asked confirms, it's going to blow your brains out of the water.
And as always, as we have that lineup, we will post it on couplestherapypod.com, where you can also get tickets to the show. So keep an eye out for that.
Two other things you can do while you're on the website. One of them, sign up for the Patreon.
2 bonus episodes a month.
Naomi and I just talking, getting into shit, laughing at home. It's really, I really enjoy them. The listeners really enjoy them so far. So please sign up for that. And also, we started a mailing list, which you can get on the website. You can sign up for. We send them out very rarely, but basically we just want to know where listeners are so we can know where to tour. And we'll also tell you when we're coming to your town. Because people have been emailing us and DMing us and things like that. And I feel like that's an easy way to like get the information out.
It's true. It's true. So sign up.
Finally, every once in a while we do advice episodes.
Yes.
We have some people come into the studio, Felicia Day, Natalie Morales, and we answer your advice questions. And you can find that number online at a bunch of places, but I will tell you it now if you want to write it down. 323-524-7839. Naomi, do you have any dates coming up?
Well, October 23rd and 24th, you can find me in Ohio and Michigan, respectively. I will be performing as part of Together Live, which is a tour that brings together women and gender nonconforming performers, writers, public personas. Is that... Yeah. Public figures, way better. Not hidden figures, public figures. And it is going to be wonderful. So I'm doing short sets, but the entire evening is going to be amazing. So you can go to togetherlive.com to get information and see the locations. It's Royal Oak, Michigan, and Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Now, we got a couple sets today from our September show. I am overflowing with love for these performers, especially these first two.
These first two are near and dear to your heart. I mean, you introduced me to them. This first set comes from veteran, gifted comedians Wayne Federman and Andy Kindler.
Oh, my God.
I mean, you're the one who told me about these guys.
Yeah.
You brought them into my life. They're just like funny little Jewish men, just like you.
Yeah, Andy Kindler specifically speaks to my heart in a very deep way.
So yes, as I said, they are comedians, they are actors, they're longtime friends. You know Wayne from shows like Larry Sanders Show, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Crashing, and you'll be able to catch him on the next season of Silicon Valley. And also, check out his podcast, The History of Stand-Up, if you want to learn some ish. Andy Kindler has been on David Letterman. He plays the voice of Mort on Bob's Burgers. You've also seen him on Marin, Everybody Loves Raymond, and he gives the State of the Industry address at Just for Laughs every year. It is transcendent. I remember you and I went to JFL.
Yeah.
I couldn't go because I had to do some performance, and then you were like, I'm going to Kindler. And you just like went, and you were like, it was amazing.
Worth it.
So you guys, check out this set from two longtime friends who are celebrating what it's all about.
Roll it.
Yes.
You didn't warn me about the stair. We've been married for 30 years. He can't. The man can't say, don't forget, you have trouble with the stair.
stairs.
Nothing. I get nothing from him. I can't. Don't get me started or something. Why would I have this voice if I was married to you?
I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it.
Wayne,
Look at this. Oh, the
I
audience
love
is-
you.
Oh, I
Who
can't-
loves you? I love you.
I know. I can't
Okay,
say
sorry.
that. I
All
can't
right.
say those words.
All right.
I'm not that. I can't say those words, but you know how I feel. By the way, we met 30 years ago. This is our
30 years
30th
ago.
anniversary. It's our 30th anniversary. 1989 at a little club called
The Improv?
the Igby's.
Oh, Igby's. Igby. And
Doesn't
this
even
was-
exist. It's now a strip club. It's now a strip club.
And this was back in the days where if two men were together, there was
Yeah.
some kind of computer fuck up or something like that,
Yeah.
right? There was no gayness back then.
No.
You would have a punchline would be, hey, what's the matter with you, sir? Are you gay? Boom! And that was it, folks. That's the way it was. They're taking me
1989.
seriously. They're taking me seriously.
I know, they're very serious here. Oh, look, people coming out front. I
Yeah.
love it. But anyway, it's great to be here at the Virgil with credible parking. The parking lot is my favorite here in Los Angeles.
I've been here 10 times. By the way, we're the Sklar brothers. I'll be the guy who says,
right, and I'll say
afterward.
exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
No,
So,
right
boy,
after you.
it's the Virgil, right? The Virgil.
The
yes.
Virgil, of course.
The Virgil. The Virgil. That's why there are no duos. It's very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Well, you know, there's a rule in comedy, like in improv, about yes and, right?
Yes, and I hate that rule because I do not like the rule of agreeing.
You don't want to agree on stage.
No.
It's stupid. It's like the Smothers Brothers never agreed once.
Could you
They had a whole-
imagine if they did agree? Mom, you have to agree now.
Yeah, I got it.
Mom always liked you best, Dwayne.
I know. That must have been tough on you.
It really was. And I'm glad that we could find a format to talk about it when we're older. But now we're better. We get along better.
Of course, it's much better. We're closer. I feel.
Yes,
Now that
and
we-
we're also on stage.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're also the
We're
Smothers
brothers. We're brothers. We're brothers of the Smothers.
We were the Smothered Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
We were also the Self-Righteous Brothers for a couple of years.
Love it. You've lost that love and feeling. I know the band.
Where
I know
am I
the
coming
band.
up with this material, Wayne? I am on fuego. I don't know why I said that. Too much Red Bull. But we are similar
Yes,
people.
because we're
Jews.
right.
I
We
will
were not
do-
afraid of. We were not afraid of it. I remember once that we were at a commercial audition, and you know what I used to say about booking commercials?
Very lucrative.
Very lucrative.
This guy used to be on every goddamn commercial, and if he wasn't on it, Scott LaRose was on it. And where's Scott LaRose now? Exactly. This guy's still going.
I got it.
He was
I
on
actually
All
have-
Temperature. Remember that commercial? Do you remember All Temperature?
Of course, of course,
Okay,
of course. I actually have some show business news I wanted to share with you. I got booked in Les Mis.
Really?
Yeah, it's that's the good news. The bad news, it's a bringer. It's a
Oh.
bringer.
How was my Bud Abbott though? Is that good? Really?
Trying to do a double act.
Is that true? You know, the straight men in the old days got paid more, and I'm talking about sexually. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. They don't like the gay material here at the Virgil. And now we would like to Would you like to do a song? This is the duels used to do this, Wayne.
What?
You go,
Tell me.
I'll say, let's do a song, but you don't want
Yeah,
one.
okay, got it.
Okay, let's do that song, Wayne.
I'm not ready.
Well, come on, you promised you would.
I forgot the chord structure.
Oh, okay. Did you ever see the group? There was a group called Roger and Roger.
Sure.
And there was also Roger and Scott.
I don't know about them. I know Roger and Roger.
Well, Roger and Roger did this bit where they would go, you do the song, don't do the song, you do the same thing at the end of the thing. And this is what they would do. It's getting late, I know it's time to meet you, and I can't say I love you with my schlong. That was it. They went the whole... They did
To
the
get
whole...
there?
Yeah. And he goes, no, you're going to do the thing at the end. No, I won't. And I won't. I couldn't even sing the whole song. And they did it every night for 45 years. The same thing. These people don't know from
They
Mac
don't know
and
the
Jamie.
Rod. They don't
you
know
don't know
Mac
from Mac
Jack
and Jamie.
They don't know.
You don't know from
They don't-
Shields and Yarnell.
They don't know.
You
Bergen and McCarthy.
You love Shields. He was a big fan of Shields and Gigot. I don't know if you're... He knows
That's a
that
political.
reference.
It's a political.
It's a political thing.
Well, political reference.
You people don't care at the Virgil. You're always here. Oh, we're gonna meet people. We're gonna have sex. We're a real couple. We never see each other.
We never see. We've spoken on the phone 5 times in 30 years.
30 years. This is a couple. This is the kind of couple that lasts.
But I'm going to remember some of your act from back in
Okay.
1989.
Right.
You can maybe, one of the bits you did was about Star Trek conventions that still exist. Do you still do that?
This was not a bad bit.
What was it?
Oh, you want me to do it? Or
Yeah.
People go to Star Trek conventions. They're crazy. I mean, it's like, I like Mary Tyler Moore, too, but then I'll rent out a big hall and dress up like Rhoda. Let's go back to the Lou Grant table. I want to get another tie. Still classic.
It's incredible.
Now I'll do one of Wayne's
Incredible.
Wayne's first jokes that I still laugh
What do you
today.
remember? What do you remember from 89?
Well, I grew up in Miami, Florida, so most of my friends are retired. Come on.
that's
you
a
kidding me?
classic. I like that you did both of our jokes.
Oh, well, that's the thing. I need more stage time.
I got it. Let me think of another joke. You did one. I'm going to do the physicality of it.
Okay,
It was
and
about Barry Manilow, and it ended with this.
Boom!
Yeah. How did that go?
Because I had a lot of jokes, and you remember these days when
Yeah.
when my jokes didn't go over so well.
What? That seems impossible. Seems impossible. Did you comment on it when it happened?
That was the thing.
You would. Okay.
Right, so a joke would bomb.
Yeah.
And I would go the other way with it. I go, okay, let's slow it down.
Yeah,
you guys
yeah,
are
yeah.
about to get overheated now. Let's
Right.
take it a little
I
easy.
like when you would also talk about your hand motion.
Yeah, come on. Do that. And I go, I learned timing from Barry Manilow because he would see Barry Manilow in Vegas. He would do Copacabana. The place is going nuts. Just when the roof's about to come off, boom, Mandy. Just so everybody can have a ciggy and take a couple of minutes
Yeah,
off.
so you
They don't
learn-
know from Mandy.
They don't know
They don't know
Mandy.
from
They don't know
Mandy.
Mandy.
Barry Manilow's gay. All right, deal with it. Deal with it. I'm telling the truth. Telling the truth about they were not long confirmed bachelors. You know who else? The guy in the Hollywood Squares, Paul Lynde.
Paul Lynde, the middle square. I think we knew it'd be. Oh, you're not talking about Cliff Arquette? Guys,
Cliff Arquette.
Splitting the room.
Oh, okay. Splitting the room. God bless us all.
So what is going on now? I know we've taken a trip down memory lane.
Are you kidding me?
Is there anything that's bothering you?
Well,
or-
I'll tell you, there's a lot of things sticking in my craw.
Really?
This is great. I can't imagine. I was in a duo, too, and I still don't look natural as a person. Yeah, well, this movie came out yesterday. I almost fell. And it's not. I wish there was something funny about it. Old man's going and the boo-boo-da-boo. So, there's a movie called Yesterday, Wayne. Have you heard of it?
About,
You see?
about the Beatles.
I work towards you and then out to the audience. Yes, Wayne, that's true. Don't tell these nice people that you haven't prepared the bit. So on Yesterday is about a guy. It's a movie. My movie was just like the Yesterday movie, but it was
Jesus.
I know I'm bad with jokes, but it's about a frustrated
Singer?
ventriloquist. No, ventriloquist.
Oh, okay.
The other one was Yesterday, but my idea was a frustrated ventriloquist.
Yeah.
There's a big storm, and all of a sudden, people don't know that Jeff Dunham exists. They don't know. So he starts doing Jeff Dunham's act.
Uh-huh.
And his family alienates him because he's just a horrible racist. Jeff Dunham.
Andy, you realize this is a podcast. This is a podcast.
Oh! Should we, what does that mean? Be funny or be... What does that mean?
I'm just worried that the Dunham fans might hear
Oh,
this.
no, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. First of all, if you want to like Jeff Dunham, he's great on podcasts. That's the best. That's the best ventriloquist I've seen. You know that's true, though, of Charlie, Schmoopy, and Edgar Mandubi.
Yeah, I mentioned Bergen and McCarthy.
Well, but then tell them about it. Well, these kids don't know.
They don't
They
know.
don't even know where the
They don't-
bicycle is.
They don't know.
They
From the
go with
Paul
the birds,
Winchell and the,
the
Jerry
birds.
Mahoney. They don't know.
No.
They don't know.
But they used to do ventriloquism on the radio.
Yeah, that was the greatest job. And Edgar Bergen was the biggest act on radio. He's a ventriloquist. That's like being a juggler on radio. That's how easy show business was back then. You could be a ventriloquist on radio and become a millionaire.
How about Carrot Top on the radio? Well, you can't see it, but Carrot Top is holding up a tennis racket and a toaster, and he says if you ever get hungry on the court, you could have this device. Go online now, and you can download where you could see it.
Of course.
Boy, I'll tell you, Wayne. What?
Can I just say one
Sure.
thing? I don't know if you know anything about show business history, but Andy Kindler has been doing the state of the industry address for over 20
you.
years at the
Thank
Montreal
you.
Comedy Festival.
And Just for Laughs, where one of these other comics said they couldn't get into. That's right. It's all coming around to me now. So what if things haven't happened in a few years and I've alienated some of the industry? I'm back, baby. Tell them about it, Wayne.
No, I was just going to say that I've also been to that festival.
That's right. How many times did you
Two.
go?
I've done two.
Two. See? And who has a better shirt? This is the kind of thing, if he'd worked harder, he could have gone more. He could have been wearing blouse shirts. You know why I wear these shirts, right, Wayne?
I have a guess, but go ahead.
No, you can tell them.
Why?
Why do I wear a
No,
blouse
I don't.
shirt?
I don't know why.
Well, because I'm a man. I'm a man of means by no means. I'm king of the road. I'm king of the middle section here.
Oh, I see.
See, when you get older, you don't have to worry. You're rail
No,
thin.
I have a little.
No, you're not a little. So I get these, and the thing that bothers me, though, Wayne, is this asshole untuckit.com, right?
What? Tell me. I don't know
Yeah,
about
this
that.
goddamn asshole.
I don't even know that you were on the computer.
Yeah, you.
You know
Well,
.coms?
I sit on the computer because I'm light. You know Jimmy O's? Jimmy O's is shopping for men 5'8" and under. That's where I do.
Oh, I would have never heard of it.
That's right. You wouldn't have seen it. It's right there, Wayne. The Jimmy O's I was telling you about. Oh, I see. It's down there.
5'8" and under.
Right. And he has on the side of his thing after you shop at Jimmy O's, he has big shop bags that go 5'8" and under. You walk down the street with your diminutive wife. And I'm not lying about this. He used to have a newsletter that he would send out.
Okay, keep
Jimmy
going.
O.
Keep going.
And he would say, our diminutive Emmy winners. He would point out.
Oh, Michael J. Fox or something like that.
Just the Emmy winners who were short, he would point out. And so I used to shop at him all the time, and because but this guy Untuckit.com, he's like, oh yeah, I broke the bank, I figured out the combination. He just hems a goddamn shirt.
Okay, I didn't know this was going to trigger you in a horrible way.
That word isn't a word that's used anymore, but he hems a thing.
So Jimmy O's is out of...
No, Jimmy O's is now Jimmy O's used to be in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Now it's 5 blocks from my house in the valley. You don't think I'm happy?
What's next? Where's next?
What's next?
Santa Clarita
Santa Claus.
by Six Flags.
The property's very cheap up there. That's what we thought. Everybody thought who moved up there in the 80s.
Yeah.
You never saw him again. What happened to that guy? Well, he moved up to Magic Mountain. You knew he wouldn't come back. Do you remember that? Right.
Of course.
Well, this guy, first of all, he did commercials, which were very lucrative.
Lucrative, yeah.
So did you buy? You must have bought so much. I mean, do you recognize him from? Not from now.
He's not going to know. They're not going to know from the...
He'd be the guy. Be like, hey, what happened to my soup? Remember that commercial?
That was not a spot of mine.
Also, this is what embarrasses him. Let me tell you something right now that is going to embarrass this man
go
right
ahead.
here.
Jimmy O's?
Not the fact that I've come on to him in every private party. He's an amazing actor. I am not an amazing actor,
Why not?
but I
Why
like
is
to
that?
claim that I am. But this guy really delivers the goods. He was in Larry Sanders. He was in my favorite episode of Larry Sanders. He played Larry Sanders' brother. All right. So what are you doing? What's in your wallet?
All right, Andy, let me ask you about your career a little bit. Tell me about doing your voiceover, because now you have a voiceover career. Tell me what that's like.
Yeah, I have a voice. I don't have a voiceover career, but I do one good impression.
Oh, let me.
Do you remember Tom Likas?
Of course.
Tom
the radio guy.
Likas.
Wait, it's never a good sign when the crowd in the bar is louder than the show, actually.
I have never done a show in my life, Wayne, where I didn't hear a pounding bass from somewhere else, where I didn't hear people celebrating in another bar down the street. Woo!
The air conditioning cut on.
Yeah.
A drink being made.
But, yeah, I can hear who's picking up a napkin in the other room. Give it down. 1-800-TOM Likas. 1-800-5800-TOM. Coming up after the break, why you should throw your girlfriend from a moving car. 1-800-500-TOM. They don't know. See, James Adomian, he comes along. Boom, nobody wants my
Well, he
impressions.
does impressions of people that are still...
Well, what if John Wayne came back?
Did you ever do impressions in your act? Ever?
No, I never.
Whoa, easy. I know.
That was close.
Thank God I'm here. Thank God I'm here to warn you about that on stage.
Did you ever? I did this virtual reality show. They have these virtual reality
No,
shows.
I don't know. Tell me.
Well, I have a thing on my
Yeah,
head.
like an Oculus situation?
Yeah, I have a thing on my head, and then there's a virtual audience, and I can't even play a video game, so I'm walking around, like, knocking around. It's called. You've heard it. It's a guy who came up with Second Life. Is now doing virtual reality.
You have to
comedy.
be under 5'8". That's a callback. I learned that at Igby's.
Why
guys.
would it be? Why would they not be able to accommodate my height? It's with the computers. Andy, years from now, when we figure out how to get you on stage. All right. I'm sorry. That's what I say at the end of every set. But you're not here normally. We don't do sets together.
We do once in a while. We do.
We did a Christmas. He does a Christmas show.
did.
To die for. Oh, these things are not happening anymore. He used to do a Christmas show. Folks, we're around Christmas this year. Don't check out what this Jew's doing, because it's not going to be. This Jew's taking off this year.
Well, the weird thing about Christmas is like how fast the decorations are going, right?
Yeah, you can't believe it. This year, you know what bothers me is how Wayne is how commercial Hanukkah's become.
Oh, really?
Right?
Tell me about-
Hanukkah's become. It's crazy.
Really?
It's not even Shavuos yet, and they have the Hanukkah stuff in the stores.
It's so commercial.
It seems like just a week after you put away your Sukkot decorations.
Then they're pushing.
Yeah, they're pounding.
pushing,
Everything was with
Really
the Hanukkah. Something, Kwanzaa. Boom! Boom, Wayne. You don't add. See, I put my ear to the ground and see what the new religions are. The kids.
That is, I am older than Kwanzaa. I'm older than that holiday. That holiday came around in 1960, I believe.
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, you got a problem with that? Well, I'm older than Kwanzaa. If Kwanzaa's so spiritual, how could I be older than him? I'm not older than Jesus, am I?
Not even close.
Think about it. Do you know what Kwanzaa is?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's an African-American situation, right?
Could we be more white? Could we be more Kwanzaa? Well, I believe that's an African American
situation.
It could be a Liberia thing. I don't know. Is Liberia a thing?
Yeah, well, I think it's now a more African kind of name. A lot like those countries all change their names, right?
Yeah, like the South Africa.
Well, not
That was just
one.
called a place where white people did not belong. They turned that around. All right, Wayne, I'm dying. I'm dying up here, Wayne.
you're doing-
I'm doing
come on.
South Africa material.
Come on, this is good. Okay, Andrew, I just want to say it's been 30 years.
Yeah.
It's been 30 years, and you're just one of the greatest, funniest men I've ever met in my life.
Well, thank you, and I feel that way. We have such love for each other that that it isn't sexual is only his problem. But no, we
goodness.
bond on a comedic Jewish way.
We would never say it, though.
No, and we would never go to a temple.
The worst. The worst.
I've never had solid closers, Wayne. So why don't you bring it home with one of your classics?
All right, let me do. I know you talked about my Florida joke. That is one of the first jokes I ever did. All my friends were retired, and I've since added Florida jokes to that.
I love that.
Not as good as the first one. Not as good as that first one.
He knows how to sell himself, doesn't he?
Right. This one you're gonna like, but they're not gonna understand. But I'll do it anyway.
That's
all
the
right?
point. What's the point of them liking anything?
Right. It's be stupid to try to connect with the crowd at this point in my career.
I'm into Pong. Is that the thing? What are those things?
Yeah. That was a game. That was a video game.
No. What are those little pogs?
Pods.
Yeah, right. The kids love them.
Is that Tide? Is that the Tide? Are we talking about two different things? Oh my God!
I don't even think I've gotten the right word yet for the thing I'm talking about. You used to trade them and.
Oh, I know what those are. The middle school.
Grow up. They're not here anymore.
Right.
You used to have a lot of jokes when this guy's a teenage ninja turtle. Boom.
I used to do a lot of stuff about make references to a different world.
Yes.
That was all of my material.
Yeah.
By the way, are you going to be... this is a serious question.
Okay.
When you die, are you going to be buried? Are you going to be cremated? What is your... what do you have?
I used to want to be cremated, and then I realized I wasn't married at the time. And so you got to ask your wife what she wants. And she said I couldn't care less.
I like their all.
I like the way you make up a fictional thing. My wife says, I'm going to take you out with the trash, buddy. The fake joke is sad.
Right, of course. Well, this is what I'm thinking of doing. I'd like to, because I'm a giver and also narcissistic, those are my two qualities, donate my body to science. That way, they be a cadaver that a USC student can practice on, and then they're like, "Oh my God, I know this guy from Living Single." All right, that's it for us, guys.
Thank you. That's a good closer. That is a solid.
Hi, friends. Andy and Naomi here. I gotta tell you, everyone, the sheets that Naomi and I use on our bed right now are somehow at the same time way too moist and way too dry. I want to sleep, not go to the beach.
And this is where these new sheets we just got from Sheets and Giggles come in, okay? Because I'm all about sheets, okay? I'm giving you multiple thread counts. I am coming through with a bamboo. I am coming through with a linen. I am coming through with a flannel in the winter. I care about sheets. And these Sheets and Giggle sheets...
But these babies, eucalyptus!
Made out of eucalyptus.
Loving it.
Did you know that eucalyptus is also sustainable?
Thank
you. The earth needs it.
Green New Deal, baby.
These Sheets and Giggles eucalyptus bed sheets are so soft, and they're like cool and breathable.
I'm a hot sleeper, Naomi. You are a cool sleeper, and it works for both of us.
We can finally enjoy each other in the bed. So, I mean, my God, what were we doing before Sheets and Giggles?
Sleeping well.
Not sleeping well. Tossing,
100% not sleeping well before.
Tossing, turning, struggling. You know we got to fit the cats in. It's a whole thing. If you guys are looking for some good, comfortable, cool sheets made by a great company, go to sheetsgiggles.com. That is SHEETS giggles.com, baby.
And look for their eucalyptus sheets.
And I promise you, you will be sleeping good.
And we're back. You know how Andy gets that energy, Naomi?
Yes.
I don't know if he does it anymore, but I remember I saw him many years ago. He drinks a number of Coca-Colas.
Oh my God, you drink Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Well, you have the Jesse Spano.
Yes.
Which is a caffeine pill with a Diet Coke chaser.
Yeah. I try. I can't match that energy, though.
Oh my God, it's unreal.
I'm scared. You know what? Hey, we're talking about fear and stuff, Naomi.
Yeah.
I think I'm scared to push myself to those energy levels, to just talk and let whatever is in my brain spill out onto the world.
Yeah.
Like, what if I start talking and like some like fucked up shit spills out?
Well, you have a lot of rage. And so that's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But I also know what you mean. Like someone like Andy Kindler, like what you're also seeing is 30 years of stand up. So it's energy, but it's also it's also calibrated energy. It's like, it's mindful energy, right? That he can probably like be much. I'm not that he hasn't always, but it's like, it's a mindful energy, certainly cultivated. You know, who knows what he was doing in year 2? Might you know? Do you have the footage from the old days? Have you found something in an archive? I know you love him.
Yeah, well, let me go to, he did give all of his papers to the Ohio Library. So I'll go back and do the research when I'm writing my PhD thesis on Andy Kindler's comedy.
But actually, speaking of fears, you and I did recently face a fear together.
Yeah.
On our trip, as Andy said in the beginning, we took a trip to Solvang. And also, as you know, we're in a Green Book situation. I can't drive. So Andy drove us to Solvang. And
honestly, getting out of Los Angeles, Naomi, driving was beautiful. I loved it. It's not, there's not like people doing dumb stuff all the time. You're just on the 101 going north.
Ooh, look at you naming highways. You're a California boy.
But yes, no. So at some point to go to Solvang, you get off the 101 onto the 154. And the 154, ladies and gentlemen, and non-gender conforming friends, is a twisty-turny, one-lane highway that goes through these hills.
Yes.
Goes up and down through these hills, twisting and turning. And at some points on this road, there are, I don't know what you call them, turnoff maybe, but basically the one lane splits off into two and it allows the faster moving cars to go past in the left lane and the slower moving cars to continue in the right lane. Now, every time we went to one of those turnoffs, I was, of course, the slowest moving car. So I went to the left and then a bunch of like sports cars and Ford Tauruses and whatever would pass me in the left going like 80 miles an hour. And I would go back to doing my like 65, 70. At some point, however, I'm apparently doing 77 and we fly past a cop car and and Naomi goes, "Hey, that's a cop car." I go, "Uh-oh."
Right. And it's like, you might want to slow.
Yeah. Now, this has happened to me before and I've slowed down and normally nothing has happened. This time, however,
not this time, baby.
The officer pulls out and just red lights, nothing flashing, but there's just little red lights.
Right. I don't hear sirens. So I'm like, wait, Andy, is he following you? And you're like, I don't know. And it takes like a minute before you're like, oh,
Right.
wait, he is.
Because I don't know enough about police procedure to know why this happens, but like I'm just like, is he deciding whether to pull me over or not? Is he like running the place to see if I'm a danger? What is the officer doing in that moment?
Right.
And also, obviously, this is my nightmare, Naomi. I mean, we don't have to get too much. Everyone knows the state of policing in the United States.
Well, it's also like, Andy probably by himself would have been fine, but my black ass in the car, and that changes the whole game.
Well, yes. I mean, that is both of our nightmares.
Right. And I have the dog in my lap. And then also, it's not even just that. It's also that, like, as you said, we're on this tiny 2-lane road. It's the emptiness of it. It is the anonymity of it. It is the fact that it's like, oh, he could do anything he want on this road, and everybody else going 74, gonna fly right by and not notice what goes down.
I mean, literally, this is the part that like still drives me nuts, is that everyone was going faster than me. And
even when we were waiting, it was like people were going so fast, it was like us sitting there, it was like shaking the car. Like the wind, like they were going so fast, it was like, holy shit.
So, like, it drove me nuts that, like, some guy in, I think, a Porsche had flown past me easily 85, 90 miles an hour, and then we're the ones singled out. But finally, the full lights come on, and I'm like, okay, this is happening. Now, I was once pulled over many, many years ago. I would say 15, 16 years ago, driving from Pittsburgh to Philly. And I wasn't going that fast. And the officer was like, all right, no worries. I'll let you off with a warning. So that was the only other time I've ever really been pulled over.
But he comes over and y'all, this man, he is white, okay? He is so white, he's red in the face, okay? He's doughy.
Ruddy.
He's
doughy.
He's been out, ruddy. Hair was white blonde.
Imagine
blonde
a
hair.
red-tinged Pillsbury doughboy.
And it was like, okay, like now I'm looking at your energy, it could go either way.
Right.
You know, when he approaches, and then immediately, and then I rolled down the window because I was like, is he coming on my side?
Which he did.
Because I've never been pulled over. I've never had a situation. So I was like, and then
Again, bracing for the worst.
So I pull it down, but again, I have the dog in my lap, so I'm trying to hold her. And then as soon as the cop, Mabel start barking at the cop. And I said, Mabel, don't get me in trouble with the po-po, okay? I was like, Mabel, I get your energy. I feel what you feel, but we got to be cool right now. So then I'm like trying to like hold her, and I didn't want him. She's such a tiny dog. It's not like anything was going to happen. But I didn't want to piss off the cop.
Yeah, I'll
You see
tell
what
you
I'm saying?
what,
I
though.
didn't want her to do something and him be like, these bitches. You know, the whole thing. That I was like, Mabel, please.
I'll tell you what, in this moment, though, I wasn't actually afraid because in my brain, I was like, we were going slower than everyone else. He's obviously just going to let us go.
Oh, you're so sweet. I was like, no, he's stopping us. And he was like, you were going 77 in a 55. And, you know, he's like, license registration. Okay, no, before that, so like, again, we've like just had this car 2 months. So I'm literally like, where's the registration? And Andy's like, the glove box. And then Andy's like, and Andy is being so like, he's like, can I reach for it?
Yeah.
Should she reach for it? We were literally like, no sudden fucking movements.
No, look, again, I'm relatively safe due to being a white man. But like, how many people, specifically black people, have the cops murdered
Right, of course.
for doing nothing, for
Right.
literally doing nothing?
Right.
Right? I mean, it doesn't even have to be like, well, the person reached into their pocket. Literally, like, Philando Castile had his hands, I think, on the steering wheel and they murdered him.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, it is once I realized what was happening, I started to just, like, be very deferent.
Yeah.
And I'm like, should I keep my hands on the wheel?
I know, and then you're like, I've never been pulled over before. Like, it was like, you know, we were like very like bumbling. It was almost like a meet cute. If it had been a rom-com, it was
Yes.
us just bumbling ingenues
Yes.
to this stern officer.
I said afterwards, I was like, I mean, I kind of put it on as a mask to be like, oh, maybe if he sees that I
Yes.
am non-threatening, he'll just let us go.
Right, if he sees that we're like,
Yeah.
sweet young kids from the
Yes.
city.
And I said I really upped my like Hugh Grant levels.
Yes.
I'm sorry, so sorry, officer. What can I?
Well, because then there was the other layer where, okay, we've had the car a couple months. We have not transferred our licenses over to California licenses. So then it becomes, he's like, wait, so are you renting this car? And we're like, no, we just got it. Like, you can see on the registration, it's only like 2 months old. And he was like, you've got to transfer your license. But so I was like, oh, there are too many. I was like, is he going to, do we seem sketchy now if we say we live in LA, but then we have these licenses that are not California licenses, and then we're like, this car is new. I was like, oh my God, he gonna think we some kind of like interracial Bonnie and Clyde on a damn run. I done got the dog in my lap. And so I'm like, okay, we gotta just make sure he doesn't think we're like sketchy and trying to prove a point. But then we were so bumbling, and then he was all like, but then I think, what did he say earlier where you were like, I'm gonna keep my hands here. You were like, do you need my hands on the wheel? And then he was
But
like,
in a British accent.
my hands? My hands. And then he was like, no, you're fine. He's like, I'm not a bad guy. Like, legit.
Which in 2019,
It's like sad he had to say that.
yes.
The cop had to kind of like make us know that he wasn't going to kill us. And he's like, I will be right back. You know, I'm going to go like write this up or whatever.
Well, just think about how in like our lifetimes, like when I was a kid, it's like there was a knee-jerk trust of policemen, right?
Right.
And then within a good 10, 15 years, it's like, oh no, you guys are just the foot soldiers for rich, powerful people.
And we like get nervous, and so he goes back and we're all like, ooh, okay. And I was like, Andy, I cannot believe this is happening. And it was just like so funny because it was like, Andy was like trying to get me to the Airbnb because I really wanted to swim in the pool. And he was like, we're going to get there before the sun goes down and it's like cold. And then I'm like, well, now we've made pretty much the same amount of time with the being pulled over and all. But the thing that was funny was that like the cop, I think, is now trying to, he's like, I'm not a bad guy. He like comes back, he explains to us, it's not even a ticket. It's like, we're going to get it. You're going to get it in the mail. So that's the thing. We don't even
Whatever.
know
The
how much
point is,
ticket.
he's like having me like read over some like legal stuff, and I have to sign the ticket and all this other stuff. And while I'm doing that, he tries to, again, be like, I'm not a bad guy, and he's like giving Naomi.
He's like, oh, so you guys came up from LA, you're visiting Santa Ynez? You know what restaurants you should go to? And then starts to fucking be like a human Yelp.
Fucking Officer Yelp here.
Officer Yelp trying to be like, it's okay, we're friends. And I'm like, first of all, you just dropped me with like a $200 ticket easy. Secondly, your ruddiness worries me. I need you at least rocking an SPF 70 if you're going to be out here in the countryside coming up on black people on the side of the road, okay? it was just so funny to me how it was like we were terrified, but then also he was terrified in a way. You know what I mean? He was like, I'm not bad. I want you guys to like me. I wish he could have just said, hey, it's the end of the month and I have a quota. He's like, I just got to write some tickets and y'all were fast as hell.
I'm sorry, 90% of cops are white supremacists, but I'm not.
And I was like, okay, cool. But it was so funny because I like tried to avoid eye contact. And then I was doing my, code switching, obviously being like, I'm fancy. We're all safe here. But
Police code switching.
Exactly. So it was so ridiculous that we were dealing with Officer Yelp. In the end.
You pulled a 217. Code switching.
Oh. Honestly,
so, yes, I still have not got the ticket yet, so I don't know how much I owe.
I know. But it's like, for something that's like scared me a lot, because I was just like, God, we're like on a dirt road in the middle of nowhere where we don't know anybody. You know what? We made it. We're out on the other side. We survived. You might have to, take a loan out to pay for the ticket. But we got through, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And we hugged each other after you left.
Well, like literally it was like a sigh. And then it was like, but like the rest of the weekend I kept being like, watch your speed. Because I was like, they're hiding in the bushes.
I now drive like someone's grandfather.
I mean, but that weekend we were like, so it's like, well, I guess that's the whole point of it, right? Get you that ticket so then you never do that shit again.
Yeah, and it worked.
It worked. It fucking worked, Officer Yelp.
Sorry, I'm imagining, what is it, West Side Story with Officer Yelp?
I don't understand.
Officer Krupke, or whatever his name is. Krupke?
Don't know.
Never seen West Side? Naomi, you are in show business.
I've seen
You're
West
a musical
Side Story.
girl.
I've seen West Side Story, but
hey there, Officer Krupke.
Was that a song or you just
I'm a bitch. I'm a liar.
We will be right back with another hilarious set. Naomi from Couples Therapy here, talking to you about getting a flu shot. If you're a parent, you know what happens when your child gets sick. The coughs without covering their mouths, the sneezes right into everybody else's faces, and they seem to touch everything possible. No wonder the flu loves children. They're the perfect spreader of germs. And it turns out that when one person gets the flu in the house, there's up to a 60% chance that someone else in their house may also catch the flu. So we are going to have to get this handled. This flu season, be a flu fighter with a flu shot from Walgreens. Just stop into your local Walgreens. No appointment is necessary at all. And the flu shot will be free to you with most insurance. So go get this season's flu under control. And we are back.
Oh, man. Naomi, I am very excited. Both of these people, I would say, one older friend, one newer friend of ours.
Well, these next comics, we knew them both in New York, and then we developed a new bond in Los Angeles. This set is from Sara Schaefer and Charla Lauriston. Sara Schaefer became our friend recently, 2 years ago? We were out here in LA. I was gone to a friend's Oscar watch party. Then we get there and find out the show's they're not going to start the Oscars on time.
He had DVR'd the show. He was waiting for his boyfriend to get home.
And so we were going to start the Oscars 90 minutes after it started. And I'm like, I only watch this to do real-time tweets. And so
you want to participate in the conversation.
The cultural conversation
everyone
as
else
it happens.
Tweeting about whatever fun, great stuff is going on at the Oscars.
And so I just tweet this where I'm like, okay, it turns out I'm going to be 2 hours behind. And then Sara happens to be on Twitter and just tweets at me. She's like, you can come to my house. And literally we take it to DMs, we take it to a text, and then literally within 20 minutes, you and I are at Sara Schaefer's house. We ordered Thai food. We had not really hung out with her one-on-one before, and she just opened her heart and her home to us.
And she's an incredibly lovely person.
It was so fun. So that is why Sara's near and dear, and this set is so much fun. If you guys do not know Sara and Charla, Sara is a writer and stand-up whose Comedy Central half-hour special debuts November 22nd, next month. Get into it. You also know her from her podcast, You Had to Be There, and the show Nikki and Sara Live, which she did with Nikki Glazer. You can also buy her stand-up album, Live, Laugh, Love. And Charla Lauriston, speaking of albums, her debut stand-up album, Karate, is out now.
And that shit is straight fire.
Dropped last week. Get up on it. And also, she co-hosts the podcast, The Secret Lives of Black Women.
Ooh.
So get into it with Charla and Sara.
Roll it.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. We're relatively new friends.
We are,
which
yeah.
is great. Yeah.
Oh man, thanks guys. It does feel
We've
like
known
a
each
new
other
love.
for a long time, but we haven't really become good friends until more recently.
That's
Which
how
is
it
a weird
happens.
thing in your 40s to do. It's like, why do I need a new friend?
But that's what happens. There was this migration of New York comics to LA,
Yes.
and what happens is you kind like however you kind of fly in here and you just fall as you do,
Yeah,
like,
and you
amongst
think-
the groups
yeah.
that you fall amongst.
You come
Yeah.
to LA and you're like, well, everything will just be the same.
Right.
And then my friends that I had in New York will be my friends here. And then you get here and you find out you're not invited to
No.
the brunch. They've already set up their
Yeah.
group, or whatever, or you live too far away. You didn't plan it correctly geographically.
Yep.
And so I've become very lonely since moving here, and I've
Yeah.
just sort of been hunting for new friends. And I got my claws in Charla, and now I'll never let her go.
That makes me feel
She's
special
mine.
because I felt like I'm the one who kind of, just rolled up to you and was just like, let's be friends, please. Yeah.
We
I've
love
been
each other.
watching Sara since New York,
been
like when I was
watching
like a little baby. Because, okay, so like when I started in New York, the alt comedy scene had just started really taking off. And Sara...
That's how I felt about it when I moved there.
Sara and Nikki Glazer got a show called Nikki and Sara Live,
Yeah.
and it was like one of the first like people that I had done shows with or seen at shows, and then just like watched them get on TV, and I was just like, "Who's that? She's smart, and she's not really talking about her pussy. I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
Who is this person? Intriguing." I was like, I really wanted to meet her, so yeah. So I've been watching her.
Yeah, so everything kind of kicked up a notch when I asked you to come feature for me at the Comedy Store in San Diego.
Yes.
And this was last year, right?
Yes,
Last
it
year?
was last year.
Yeah.
And I was really excited and grateful because I was working on my album, which is coming out October 1st. Thank you so much. And yeah.
And so I'm really excited because, it's, if you've heard, there's this thing called the comedy condo, okay? And they're sort of going out of style because there's more women comics, and I think they're like, we can't make a woman comic do this anymore. A comedy condo is when they don't put you in a hotel at the club, they put you in some condo that they own. And generally they're known to be just like jizz-crusted, just really disgusting places. They really are. And I'm lucky to have come up at a time in comedy where like they just I've never really been forced into them. And I usually get a hotel, and it's like really, that's much more, it's just better for everyone. And, but this was pitched to me as, no, this is the legendary San Diego, or wait, it's not San Diego, it's
This is San Diego, La Jolla.
La Jolla,
San
yeah.
Diego,
La Jolla. So it's like, this is the legendary La Jolla Comedy Store condo. It's oceanfront, and you get to stay there for a weekend. And I was like, whoa. And they're like, it's really nice. Yeah. It's not what you think. And I'm like, great. So I get down there a night early because I have to do radio in the morning. And I come in at night, late at night, into this condo. And it does look nice, but it is boiling in there. It's like 95 degrees. So I'm like, sure. I've been through this before. Where's the thermostat? I'm looking for it. I'm all around looking for it. And it's not to be found. There's no fans. And I'm just like, fuck. Because I'm someone who has major like sleep issues at night, like night terrors and all kind of shit. So I'm just freaking out. Like, what am I going to do? I text the manager of the club, like, is there air conditioning? Am I missing something? He's like, yeah, I'm not sure. And I'm thinking, what do you mean you're not sure? Am I the first comedian that's noticed this? Like,
And I'm pretty sure like the whole time you were texting me too, like, just so you know, I don't know if there's air conditioning. It's boiling hot. I'm dying. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep. So like,
yeah.
I'm like
I'm
driving
literally
up
telling
there.
you, I'm literally like, you don't have to come
Yeah.
anymore. Like, this is how upset I am about it.
Shoot.
Because also, he was like, well, just open the windows. So I opened the sliding glass door to the ocean, and it is beautiful. But the first thing I see is a man taking a shit 10 feet from the balcony, which is something he could have climbed up on if he needed to, like, look for toilet paper or something. So
and I think you texted that to me too.
I was like,
all I'm getting is like, someone just took a shit. I'm like, what?
I'm like
getting
panicking.
into?
Yeah, so now I don't feel safe with the windows open because they're huge. Like someone could just walk right in. So now I'm just terrified. I'm texting Nikki, who has like done. I'm like, did you notice? She's like, oh, I was there during like a cooler month, so like I didn't notice. And I'm just like, are male comics like just impervious to this? Like, I'm the first. She goes, yeah. When I was there, I asked for towels. There were no towels in there. And I'm like, were the male comics not bathing? Like, what? They don't notice anything. Like, so anyway, you get there and you're like,
I get there and I'm expecting pandemonium, right? Like I'm expecting just like roaches and garbage and like some falling apart condo. And like before I even get into the condo, we're literally on the beach. Like we're literally in a gorgeous part of La Jolla. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I get into the condo. It's a double, so it's like 2 rooms with each of them have their
bathrooms.
ensuite
Yeah.
bathroom. So I have
Yeah.
my own private bathroom. I'm getting paid money to sit on the beach, to have my own bathroom. There are towels there. It wasn't that hot. And I was just like, the ocean breeze is delightful. And I was just like, this is the this is the best day of my life.
And I'm like, I'm going to quit comedy. I shouldn't be treated this way. And I'm like, I think this is a generational thing. Because like when you're younger in comedy, you're like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I will take whatever bullshit you throw my way.
I would take whatever. And I was like, this was
Check
a
back
good thing
in
to
like
take.
5 years when
Oh,
you've
I'm
been
not
on the
gonna
road
be
a
doing
lot.
stand up in 5 years. Oh, I'm done. This is no,
yeah.
but it was my first time staying at a comedy condo, and it couldn't have been a better experience.
It was pretty good.
And then
overall.
also there was nerves because I was just like, we're gonna be in close quarters. We've never really hung out that much. Are we gonna be friends? And then the next morning, no, wait, like, so yeah,
we got
the next
some fans.
we got there in the morning.
We got some fans.
Yeah.
It improved things drastically.
Yes,
it was
but
much better.
the first like heart connection we had was the next morning. We both kind of looked at each other and we asked each other about breakfast, and then we just like were like, oh. We revealed to each other that we both intermittent fast, which is such a random fucking
It's like
thing.
so
I was
annoying.
like, oh, my first meal of the day is at lunchtime, and she's like, me too. Are you intermittent fasting? I'm like, yeah. And you? And we were like, whoa, are we gonna have lunch together? And that's gonna be our first meal?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Things were going
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So we go to this like brunch spot. That's one of these brunch places that's like, you know, it's French toast inside of a waffle, and there's fried chicken on top of it and 8
It's
eggs.
great.
You know, it was real good. So I was eating a lot, and whenever I eat that much, I start feeling, you know, vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so we're just like, at first you were asking me for advice on stuff, and I was like, I'm used to being more of like a big sister role in friendships, and because I'm a big sister, and I just am used to that dynamic. So I was like, oh, this is right. You know, you're featuring for me. I'm the alpha. So I'm like giving her sage advice. I'm feeling very powerful.
Yeah.
But then we start talking, and I'm like kind of telling her this story that's really stressing me out, and I'm like revealing that I have anxiety. And I don't know how you said something. What did you say to me?
I don't remember.
I think you
I
said
say a lot of good
it was
shit.
somebody that I was
Yeah.
like really obsessing over, like, what do they think
Oh,
of
yes,
me?
yes,
And you
I
were
remember.
like, why do you care? What
It was better
I
than
mean,
that.
it was like
It was better.
you stuck a dagger straight into my heart, and I just burst into tears.
I was like, Sarah, you're a grown ass woman. We're in La Jolla. Look at this beautiful fucking condo that we're in. You give a
Yeah.
shit about what this bitch thinks about you? Who
Yeah.
gives a shit? I don't give a fuck. Let's stay in the moment. Let's eat these
Yeah.
waffles, yo.
Yeah.
But
I got choked up and very flustered. I was like, the dynamic is changing. She is now my
I am your
my
superior.
guru. And it was really good. And you
Yeah.
like really, we got deep.
But what Sarah
We
doesn't
went
know
deep.
is that I'm not a person who likes small talk. I hate
I don't
that.
either.
I don't like small talk. Like I like
Yeah.
to get right to the heart of whatever's going on so I
Yeah.
can get to know the person.
Yeah, me too.
And a lot of people have cried in front of me. Sometimes I think I have some sort of like empath kind of eyes. I don't know what it is about me.
you're like a therapist that's like, what do you really mean when you say
Right.
that? And then you're like, I miss my mom. You know. Oh, it got
liked it.
real, and I was like
we cried.
embarrassed.
Yeah.
I was like, I've now destroyed this wise older sister role for her, and I was all like in my head about it. For after that, I was like, but then at first I was like, did Charlotte go too far? Did she get up in my shit? And I wasn't
I
ready.
didn't know you
for
thought that.
I thought, well, I was worried, but then I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I love this because I love a person who challenges me. And I think it's good to be friends with people who try to see right through to your shit and
Yeah.
go, what are you doing? And that's when I was like, I want this person in my life. Like, you're like a
loved
valuable
it.
friend.
I loved it, and so is Sarah. And
Well,
I'm like, you know what? These expectations that we have about friendships or like relationships, we gotta like drop them because you block your blessings of friendship when you think that you're gonna, be the alpha, and it's like no.
well, yeah.
It's like,
No,
sorry,
bitch.
no.
I'm in
It's
charge.
not like there's no power struggle, guys.
No, there's not. I mean, and that's the.
Yeah.
I was just like used. Sometimes I'm used to that role, and then, but I oftentimes will complain to like my boyfriend or my therapist, like, I want a big sister in comedy.
Right.
I want somebody to hold me in their arms a little bit.
Yeah.
And you are like that to me, and that's
I think
really.
I'm 175 years old, like in my
well,
heart.
and that's why it's so hard for me
Yeah.
to find that because I'm 174.
Yeah.
So we're
And
like,
this is how Sarah and I know that because like the first night at La Jolla, we both went to, I think it was like 9:30. Like we went to sleep right after the show.
Yeah,
we
it
were
was
just
like-
I'm not hanging out. I'm not
yeah, we're like,
drinking
good
anymore.
night. Like,
Good
no
night.
partying, nothing.
And I was like, we're going to be good friends.
Yeah.
Because we're not partying.
No.
No coke.
But I
No cocaine.
think what's the future of our new friendship? What's the future of it hold for us before we
think,
leave?
For sure, more tears.
More tears.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
get
if-
you. You choked up during that conversation because we were getting
tears are always right behind the eyes.
Me
for
too.
It's right in my throat. I'm always right about to cry. There's a deep, deep sadness inside of me. And what
I
Sarah
just gotta
doesn't
find
know
it.
is I'm just waiting to cry, bro.
Yeah.
Give me the
I'll get
give
you.
me the moment, and
I'll
I'll
get
cry.
you.
No, you'll get me for sure. I'm dying to cry. So I feel like we'll probably just have more
more
brunches,
crying, yeah,
more crying,
more
That'll be a
meals
delight.
together,
Yeah.
and yeah. So anyway, if you're someone in your 40s and you're in LA, new and afraid to make a new friend, I think you should try. Put yourself out there.
Yeah.
It's hard. It is hard. This is sincere, but
This
some
whole set has
reasons,
been very
some
sincere.
people nowadays think it's really funny. You'll understand one day. Anyway, I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
God damn.
Ugh, friendship.
Friendships based in comedy condos.
Also loving it where it's like, I'm always on the verge of tears. I'm like, I relate. I was like, thank you. I like wanted to be like, after the show, be like, hey, do you guys want to get together and talk about feelings?
Talk about tears. And you know what, Naomi? Maybe as I'm softening, as my heart is melting,
Yeah.
maybe I will get there. Maybe I will always have tears just like ready to go.
Ready, just ready
Let's
to
see,
go.
5780.
5780. What?
Year of tears.
You guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We will be back next week. Bye.
Couples therapy. Couples therapy.
My name is Michael Ruhlman, and I'm the host of a new podcast called From Scratch on iHeartRadio. This isn't another podcast about food and eating. From Scratch is a podcast about cooking. Every episode of From Scratch will explore cooking with one chef
It's a good-looking pig.
and one expert who isn't a chef.
What I was missing was sensory memory of my personhood.
Starting October 16th, listen to From Scratch on Apple Podcasts or the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.